The Lantern of Shaban, A Journey to Ramadan. In a small town nestled between rolling hills, there lived a young man named Hamza. Every year, he eagerly awaited Ramadan, but deep down, he felt something was missing. In past years, he had rushed into the holy month without preparation, struggling to fast, feeling distant in his prayers, and overwhelmed by the sudden change. This year, he longed for something different. He wanted his heart to truly feel the beauty of Ramadan. One evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, painting the sky in hues of orange and purple, Hamza visited his grandfather, Imam Karim. The old man sat on his porch, lighting a weathered brass lantern, its golden glow flickering gently. "Grandfather," Hamza said, his voice tinged with longing, "how can I make the most of Shaban? I want to feel ready for Ramadan, not just in my body, but in my soul." Imam Karim looked at him with kind, knowing eyes, and handed him the lantern. "Shaban is like this light, my son. If you tend to it well, it will illuminate your path to Ramadan. But if the oil is low or the wick is weak, the light will struggle to shine. Your task is to strengthen your lantern." Hamza felt a stirring in his heart. "How do I do that?" His grandfather smiled, placing a gentle hand on his shoulder. "First, cleanse your heart. Seek forgiveness from Allah and from those you may have wronged. A heart burdened by anger and regret cannot hold the light of Ramadan." Hamza swallowed hard. He knew there were people he had hurt, grudges he had held onto. That night, he sat in quiet reflection, his heart aching as he replayed old mistakes. With courage, he reached out to those he had wronged, his voice trembling as he apologized. Some forgave him instantly, their voices warm and comforting. Others hesitated, their pain still fresh. Yet, with each sincere apology, he felt a weight lifting. When he finally raised his hands in dua, asking Allah for forgiveness, tears streamed down his face. His heart felt lighter, as if a door had opened, letting in light where there was once only darkness. The next morning, Imam Karim continued, "Second, increase your worship. The Prophet used to fast frequently in Shaban. Try to fast on Mondays and Thursdays, or the white days, 13th, 14th, and 15th. This will prepare your body and soul for Ramadan." Hamza hesitated. He had never been consistent with voluntary fasts. The hunger and thirst were difficult, and he often gave in. But this time, he was determined. On his first fast, the midday sun was relentless, his throat parched. He almost reached for a glass of water but stopped. "The most merciful, my Allah, is watching me," he reminded himself. He took a deep breath, whispered a dua for strength, and carried on. As the adhan for Maghrib finally rang through the air, he took his first sip of water, and a wave of gratitude filled his heart. It wasn't just about hunger, it was about patience, self-control, and faith. A week later, his grandfather guided him again. "Third, reconnect with the Quran. Ramadan is the month of the Quran, but if you wait until then to start, you might struggle. Let it become your companion now." Hamza picked up his dusty Quran, guilt washing over him. He had neglected it for too long. That night, as he recited its verses, he felt something shift inside him. The words weren't just sounds anymore, they were messages, reminders, love letters from Allah. One verse, in particular, struck him deeply. "So remember me, I will remember you. And be grateful to me, and do not deny me." Quran 2:152. His eyes stung with tears. Allah remembers me, even when I forget him. As Shaban neared its end, his grandfather gave him one final lesson. Increase your charity, help those in need, and make constant dua. When you give in Shaban, your heart will be open to receiving the blessings of Ramadan. Hamza took his small savings and bought food for a struggling family in the village. When he handed the bag to a widowed mother, she looked at him with tear-filled eyes. May Allah bless you, my son, she whispered. In that moment, he realized something. Giving was not just about money, but about love, kindness, and connection. The night before Ramadan, Hamza sat beside his grandfather, watching the stars twinkle like lanterns in the sky. His heart felt full of gratitude, full of hope, full of light. I understand now, grandfather, Hamza said, his voice steady. Shaban is the light that leads to Ramadan. Because of this month, my heart is ready. Imam Karim nodded, his eyes shining. Indeed, my son. When you prepare well, Ramadan becomes not just a month of fasting, but a month of true transformation. And so, with his lantern brightly lit, Hamza stepped into Ramadan with a heart full of faith, ready to embrace its blessings like never before.